Your mood as a Ghanaian? How do you feel about what's going on at the All Africa Games? As a Ghanaian, you talk to us. We are here to listen to you. The authorities listen to us. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. As a Ghanaian, how do you feel about the ongoing events at the All Africa Games? Talk to us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, boss. How are you, sir?
I'm good. What are you doing?
I'm fine, too. What's your name and location, please?
And this is Christian from East Lebanon.
Okay. Talk to me. As a Ghanaian, how do you feel All Africa Games?
In fact, Johnny, it is sad. Very, very sad. And these are some of the times that we regret being Ghanaians. Because looking at what is going on, the publicity, the money that we spent, looking at the money that we spent, and our athletes are not able to get the equipment, the things that they need, so that they will also participate in these games with confidence. It's very sad. Very, very, very sad, Johnny. And
I see.
Look, even TV stations to broadcast it for us to even watch it at home, it's a problem. It's a problem.
It go be. Okay. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Call me as a Ghanaian. How do you feel? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, calling from Uyarifa.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel very proud.
You feel very proud?
At least for once, Ghana is posting something for Africa. And it's left with we Ghanaians to be proud of what we have.
We should be
always
proud.
Condemning what we have.
We should be proud of the light off. We should be proud of people not getting
in
equipment.
Every country there is light off.
Every
So
country.
we need to be proud of what we have.
Which other countries?
And the same thing. Anything that we are doing.
No. Which other countries? Which other countries? Which other countries do we have light off?
Platform like where you are, help us to move the country forward.
I should not talk about the lights that went off. I should not talk
the
about
light goes off every time.
So
yesterday I was light off. I was inside.
You were where?
But I'm saying, I saw there's light off.
Okay.
But we are praying that it will come. So we need your station to help bring this thing out. But not always condemning.
So if you are an athlete and you wear size 45 and you were giving size 36, would you be happy?
It's everywhere. It can be a mistake.
It's everywhere where?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere where? Which place?
Which other trip have you gone in Africa when they are doing African Games?
Is it the first? Is this the first African game? Is this the first African? How do you encourage people when somebody is supposed to wear size 45 and they are giving size 36? You say it's everywhere.
All these things, it can be a mistake, but we need to encourage.
The Egyptians who are winning. The Egyptians.
Atomic overhead. The pitch is just going up. We need to talk to the highways to help.
Boss, I don't know how. I don't know how old you are, but boss, I don't know how old you are. But were you in this country when we organized Camp 2008 under President Kufuor?
I'm in this country. I'm older than you, so I'm in this country.
Oh, you are not older than me. I don't know your age. You have not told me, so you can't say.
That's what I'm saying. I'm in this country.
Okay,
and let's try and help the country.
And was this the kind of
the young tests which are coming to come out well?
Was
and
this?
Push them. Let's encourage them.
But how do you encourage people when you are giving them size 42 for size 40, 36?
It's a mistake. So as we are telling the people they should do the right thing, let's encourage the people too. At least we have started something, so we should encourage them.
So, for example, if I'm a swimmer and I've not been given my equipment, how do you encourage me to go and swim?
It's not only Ghana. That's what I'm saying. All these things are challenges. It's part of the.
But we have seen other African countries.
They will stop it, but we like condemning.
Egypt is winning. Egypt is winning 50 medals. You are winning 4. You are not even ashamed.
That is what I'm saying. It's the same encouragement. We most of our guys, we are not in this swimming, and we are not. It's now that we are coming. So let's encourage people to get into it.
Yesterday, when somebody spent his own resources to get his equipment, he won a silver for us. If we encourage them, they will win. Some of you are just praise and worship singers. Some of you, and you are part of the people. You are part of the people who are running down the country. You are part of it.
It started from Ghana. And I went outside and started training.
I said some of you are part of the people who are running down Ghana because you claim you are
So
old. Yet
you guys are the guys who are just destroying the country.
no, you are part of the people. You. I put it to you.
You are number one. You are number one. You are not helping us at all.
You are part of the people because you are old.
The platform and you are using it to just
you are
destroy the country.
You are old. You are grown, and yet you support what is wrong. You are part of the problem.
What you are not going, you are coming, so you are destroying the country.
You are part of the people. You
guys are being destroying.
So the people who sat in the coach's car bucket, you are happy with it.
That is what you have heard. So those things the Lord haven't heard. What are you saying about that?
No, it's not what we have heard. We are watching.
You just heard one, then you start talking.
Listen to this guy. Listen.
I'm not listening to you.
Listen to the guy. Listen to him.
I'm feeling it around 16.
I mean, if you've listened to Oreku this morning, and that is your takeaway, I am so fired up this morning. I am so fired up this morning. Good morning to you. Bear with me for 1 second, right? I'm so fired up this morning. This is mortifying. And our last caller is saying that we should praise this. Look at the things Oreku has told us this morning. 325 vehicles procured for these games, and yet athletes have to sit in a bucket of a pickup.
Sometimes
busing volunteers from Accra to go to Cape Coast, unnecessary expenses. You've got semesters cut down for students so you can refurbish somewhere for $16 million. Your visitors come, greeted with light off, can't even get somewhere to stay. Hockey events haven't started. They've been delayed for over a week. Volleyball at La Boma, no nets, missing nets. We couldn't start the games. Games didn't start because of light off. What are you talking about?
So somebody just sent me a message. It says most of the handball players were without birth certificates a month to the tournament. And here's someone who says that he was part of the facilitation of those birth certificates because most of them were actually overaged and they were reducing their ages. And this is what a grown-up wants us to support. We have to support the wrong thing because... And you know, yesterday, I saw something on social media that says that, we have to say the positives about the event. This morning, I spoke about 2 people winning 1 gold, 3 silver, right? At the African Games. Those are only medals we have won. Egypt has won over 50. They are still going. And Oriku said it's a very short event. You have a grown-up who is telling us that we should support our people. If I wear size 45 and I'm giving size 36, how do I support such nonsense? How do I begin to support such rubbish? Do you know what it feels to wear a size that is, even if you wear size 45 and you're giving size 40, do you know how you will suffer to put your feet in the shoe? And you say we should support them. That I am an athlete, I'm going for a tournament, and you put me in the bucket of the coach's vehicle. How do you motivate me?
How degrading. Then I'm the host nation, and the athletes are appearing in a bucket of a pickup.
I am going to an event to contest with people who use fiber bicycles. In the same competition, I use my own aluminium bicycle, and you say I should be proud. I use my own bicycle, and even before we start the race, my tires get burst, and you say I should support it because I have water in my head or what? Yes, we will sit here because in the past we have seen it. That's why I asked him about Cannes 2008. Were we not in this country? The stadia that was built in 2008, were we not in this country? We saw them. We experienced it. So we're from this mediocrity. The party has covered our eyes so much that every nonsense we must accept and agree with. What kind of nonsense is that? And you see, we expect to learn from elders like that, but they are not teaching us anything. If you expect us to be this mediocre in our thinking, what do you expect from the next generation? We are not a country that is lacking in the achievement of laurels and medals. We have done some before. We have done a lot of that before. Now we are even. This is not embarrassing. Mortifying. This is not shameful.
Mortifying.
And we have spent millions of money.
I think that.
Are you kidding me?
Johnny, I think what you need to do is to actually look at the other side of the conversation. You see, mediocrity is what has brought us here. People expect that, yes, the thing is wrong. But men can't. Or can't.
But why do we do that?
No, hold on. But how do you plan to do better tomorrow if you cannot acknowledge the problems today?
Exactly.
Because my understanding is that by acknowledging the problems today,
right,
you fashion out how to make it better tomorrow. Look, we should even be thankful to these athletes that they didn't fear victimization and were courageous enough to put these matters by way of video and others. There would have been a flat denial. Look at the situation where government, when Ablakwa raised the issue of $48 million to be spent within 18 days, the local organizing committee and the ministry quickly issued a press release, among others, gave the indication that they are buying 300 cars.
Yes.
And that is why the cost had ballooned to $48 million. What would be the expectation? That if you have 300 and something cars, should we have a Ghanaian athlete having to sit in the bucket of a pickup in a major tournament of this nature?
Host nation.
This is
host nation.
Hold on, no. This is all African games. So it's like African side of the Olympics.
That's right.
That is the African Olympics. And in that particular tournament, you have a situation where a Ghanaian athlete is having to sit in the bucket of a pickup to tournament venue.
And we should praise that.
And people say
encourage
that.
them.
And people say that when you say this, we are omambo for ompe omano. So what about those who have created the problem? Who are they? And look at the overall cost of this tournament. Almost $250 million. Almost $1 billion Ghana cedis to host this tournament.
And this is what we get.
And this is what we get. And people don't want accountability.
How do you put cyclists together? Right?
Seriously?
They appear at the location. You have given
and
them
then they
time.
say, oh, there is an ambulance without fuel.
Yes, and we are supposed to applaud it because you say it is one mistake. We are not talking about this because it is a one-off event.
No.
It happened at Legon. It happened at Botiman.
Did you hear
it happened at Cape Coast. It happened at Laboma. It has happened everywhere.
Have you heard the conversation even about their sleeping place?
Yes, I've heard.
Look, government claims that they have had to upgrade the 2 halls at the University of Ghana.
4.
Yes, 4.
4 halls. Liman.
For which they had to cut down students' time to get them out of school to go and refurbish for our visitors.
And that, as part of changing mattresses and others with all those community, it cost the taxpayer $60 million.
Dollars.
Can you imagine? Look, my lady, $60 million.
It's not a joke. Do the conversion for me, madam.
I'm afraid.
Look, and the tournament, infrastructure alone, they claim cost them $195 million. You see, I have cause to say that it appears that government's insistence on hosting this in an election year is just for the money. Because it doesn't make sense. Look, just bring people. And Johnny, this is not the first time we are hosting a major tournament. We hosted Can 2000.
Can 2008.
Yes. We hosted it here. No, we had done either 98 or 2000.
Yeah.
We did one.
We did one before Can 2008.
We did one before Can 2008. I remember at that time, the popular song, anytime a goal was scored, was Abin Waha.
Abin Waha, yes.
I recall vividly.
Yes.
The score, whatever. You see, Abin Waha. And that was around 98 to 2000 thereabout. We have a history of hosting tournaments of this nature. What do you do? Go back to the rules book.
So Can 2000. So there was Can 2000 and then Can 2008.
Exactly.
Now, $60 million in Ghana cedis is 204,684,480 cedis. That's how much we have spent.
In a claim that we have upgraded the 4 halls with the amount of money you just quoted, almost 200 million Ghana cedis.
Over 200 million Ghana cedis.
This is no chicken money. 204 million Ghana cedis.
So my friend is just sent me a thing that I should ask the gentleman who spoke. that if he pays his children's school fees and doesn't see their terminal report, would he say that he wants to encourage the teachers, so he will keep quiet about it?
And where the scorecard is what we are seeing.
But we are not seeing the scorecard is not scorecarding.
No, that's the point.
It's not scorecarding.
Look, and I tell people this. All of us here are willing to project the best that comes out of Ghana. And we do that. But this one, when you do that, you are doing a disservice to the mind that God gave you. Because then any bystander will say, you are either partisan or you have no use for your brain. Look, we are saying that, and these things are not expensive. A fiber bicycle, how much is it? Compared to the amount with $48 million.
You know,
and you can buy a fiber bicycle, for your athletes.
Do you know that?
And you say, no, let's come and sit here and clap for you.
You know, 3FM has Tour du Ghana, right?
Yes.
We have that event, a cycling event.
Is it not the one you do with this lawyer? Is it Zwini?
Yes.
Zwini?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you call it? The cyclists that come, they bring their own fiber bicycles. They say the federation has not bought them one. These are the same people we use. And the lady who spoke to us was part of our Tour du Ghana. She was part of it. The lady who spoke to us, look, nobody actually really cares about them. When the Black Stars are going to play, they don't care what jersey they are going to wear. They don't care the vehicle they're going to be sitting in. They don't care where they're going to sleep, what they're going to eat, how much they're going to be paid. They don't care. They don't have to worry about it. All they worry about is how they're going to play. And even that, they still play Dudui for us. Break our hearts.
That's right.
These are people winning medals in spite of everything. And we still insist that when something is going wrong, we should shut up and praise them.
Praise it.
Winifred, to me, is on the phone line. She's the first medalist in this All-Africa Games. She won 1 gold and 2 silver medals.
Congratulations to her.
Congratulations. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
We are proud of you. We want to say to you this morning that we are eternally grateful and proud of you for all that you have done for us.
It's all right, and I'm also busy.
How did you do it? Tell us.
Well, I just had a motive. My mind was always set up on making a good performance, a good total, which I did, and through that, it made me to get 1 gold and 2 silver.
So, yesterday, when you were giving the gold and the silver medals, how did you feel?
I was how do I put it? I was more than the rest excited. I was more than happy. I don't know the kind of word I'll use to express that kind of happiness. I was so about it. For winning Ghana's first gold and silver medals for the second time. I was so happy.
Was there pressure on you knowing that people had events before you, but nobody had brought a medal to Ghana? Was there some pressure on you?
Yeah, actually there was. Since way back in camp, there were a lot of pressure, but I just had to, calm down. Then when the game started, then others started competing and so no medals. So am I going to be the first Ghanaian to win a medal again in 2024 again? I was like, okay. So I just stayed calm, just to focus on what I can do best. And God being so great, I was able to deliver for Ghana.
How many medals have you won for Ghana? Tell me.
A lot. 2019 in Morocco for the African Games, I was the first athlete to win 3 bronze medals for Ghana. And this time around, it's not bronze, but rather 1 gold, 2 silver for Ghana for the first time again.
I'm sure that your family are very excited about this win.
They are more than excited.
What motivates you? Tell me.
So my motivation comes from my parents, my sisters, and my coaches, and some of my teammates, and my friends.
Walk us through the preparation for this tournament? How was it like?
Well, the preparation was not bad. This time around, we had a good long time camping for the first time. So I think through that camp, it made us to excel more. It made us to receive even better than what we received previously. So I think through the camping and motivation from here and there, it was okay for us to emerge the medals.
How long were you in camp?
Let me say for a few months.
A few months. You have heard your colleagues, some of the athletes, talk about the fact that they didn't get their equipment, their jerseys and attires are old and all of that. What do you say to those things?
Yeah, it's true. To be honest with you, me myself, I even experienced it because I had to use my old Swana, my old boots to compete. And even when they brought the things, like they give it to you a day before your competition, which is very bad.
A day before the competition was when you got your things?
Yes, especially with the boots, for instance. They took our sizes, but when I had my weightlifting boots, they gave me size 40.
And your size, your size original is what?
38.
So you were size 38, but you were giving size 40.
Exactly.
But the team is supposed to know what size you wear. So how?
They took everything, and you see the thing is, if they should have brought it earlier on, we would have been able to do something about it. But they didn't bring it early, and with weightlifting, for instance, you can't just take a boot today and say you are using it to compete. You have to use it minimum of 1 week to get familiar,
right.
be able to get used to it.
Right.
So if you give it to me today, don't expect me to use it. I won't use it.
I'm proud of you.
Even with the tracksuit and stuff, they are big. They are way bigger.
I'm really proud of you because in spite of all the odds, you still have shown some great light on Ghana. But
as an athlete, if you are, let me put it as, if you are a professional, you should know better because when you are going for war, you don't just carry one gun. You have to carry at least 2 or 3.
Right.
You have to prepare yourself for it. So I think that's what I did. I already had 2 sauna for myself and my weightlifting boots for myself.
Right.
So when they brought all those things, even though I took it to the competition, I just wore it for one warm-up and I dropped it. Then brought my own, was so comfortable in my zone. So
now, how were you transported to the event ground on the day that you won the medals for Ghana?
Transported, you said. Well, my teammates were there waiting. So one woman called Latifa, Madam Latifa. She waited throughout my doping test, and then she took me in her vehicle, brought me back to the Games Village, and to tell a few people that welcomed me.
You were taken to the Games Village in somebody's personal vehicle?
Yes.
Because she offered to take you there, and there was no.
She had to wait. Yes.
She waited for you to take you there, out of her own volition.
Yes.
And there were just a handful of people to welcome you.
Yes.
Is this normal to you?
Yeah. Well, it's not supposed to be normal because being the first athlete to win medal for Ghana, I'm expecting the big men to even, come out to welcome me, to tell me well done. And those that I'm so grateful for was the arm wrestling team and the basketball team. With some of the handball team, they were there to support me throughout my game.
I see. The calls, I'm sure you've had a lot of calls since you won these medals for Ghana. And I know you're going to win a lot more because I believe in you. Who has called you, if you can share?
Who and who has what?
Yes, who has called you? Who has called to congratulate you?
A lot of people have called me. Some I don't know. The CDM as well has congratulated me already, and he said he's going to see me today. So I'm hoping to hear good news today. I'm sure maybe it come on I read for like people were so surprised and in shock that he's been able to pave way for Ghana for the medal zone. So I'm sure maybe by today things are going to be in place. And just hope and pray.
But have you athletes complained to the local organizing committee, your coaches that these are the challenges you're going through, so they need to do something about it because it could demoralize you?
Yeah, we did that. I think they told us they are working on it and they are still doing it, but it's still the same. We are praying for them to do everything, maybe by today or maybe by tomorrow. So at least everyone will be okay, like comfortable.
Your other colleagues from other countries, and I'm sure this will not be your first competition because medalists there or gravitas kakra. What have they been sharing with you as the experience of the All Africa Games?
Since yesterday I was quite busy, so I hadn't interacted with some of them yet. It's only most of them congratulating me here and there. So some of them, yes, are complaining the over. I'm hoping to finish, like, be able to talk to them first.
What other events do you have coming up? Share with us so we can see what support we can also give you.
Okay, this morning, weightlifting is still competing. We have 2 athletes, 2 different categories. That's the 57 category and 73 category male. So around 10 a.m. they are starting their competition.
I see. Winifred into me, we thank you very much and keep flying the flag of Ghana so high.
Thank you very much. And please, it's not about just the congratulations. They should send me money. The Momo must try, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Momo must be trying.
Look, put your Momo number out. For this that you have done, put your Momo number out. Let people try and send you something.
Please, my Momo number is 0245 825805.
Take your time and say the number. 0245 82 58 05 0245 825805.
Yes,
Winifred into me. I hope you don't owe MTN quick loan.
Please, I don't owe any MTN. I don't do their quick loan.
Okay, thank you very much. We wish you all the best, okay?
Thank you.
And we are proud of you. Fantastic. Okay. Eduji. So this is it. She said, even the transportation, Helen, transportation. Our brother says we should apologize. We should applaud and use every opportunity. This is from the horse's own mouth. The ones who won the medal, they are saying that even as there was no vehicle.
Johnny.
Yes, sir.
I beg you. The gentleman who said he's older, is he listening?
Oh, I'm sure he's listening.
Is he listening?
So one of my mothers sent this message.
Listen carefully.
One of my mothers sent this message.
It
says, I can assure you he has been set up to make such ignorant comments. There are others that this was between mother and son, so I won't say them.
But come to think of it, look at this young lady. The efforts, the training, all that she needs from officialdom is to provide the needed facility that will let her blossom.
Size 38.
And she was
giving size 40.
So already, and you see, this kind of sports, everything matters.
Yes.
Even your gloves, if it could slip, can mess you up.
Yeah.
So everything is down to precision. And if we can have this kind of situations, and look, if you look at the medal table, until her winning,
we were zero.
We're zero.
I was monitoring.
Egypt was at the top
with Tunisia 50.
Yeah.
We were zero until she gave us 2.
She gave us 3, and then Abeku Jackson gave us 1.
The swimming.
Yes, so 4 3 silver, 1 gold.
I mean, is that how persons who kill themselves for this republic should be treated?
And you see, the theme has been the same. From swimmers to cyclists to badminton guys, everybody has said the same thing.
This lady, to me, deserves a national honors.
Right.
Beyond the national honors, I think also that some people should be held accountable for this mess.
I agree.
And you see, the reason why I say accountability is that tomorrow we'll do it better. I strongly believe in that. We celebrating mediocrity is not the best.
Right.
So that the man who called onto the show and tried to characterize the conversation that, it's just about negativity. I mean, if Ghanaian athletes were given the best of training items and others, can you imagine how it would have been so nice, would have been all over ourselves? And like I said, we hosted CAN 2000.
Yeah.
We hosted 208.
Yeah.
Look at the opening ceremony of CAN 2008.
In fact, this one was in an empty stadium. Right?
I saw it when this popular musician,
Shatta
Wale
and co were performing.
Shatta Wale will collect his money anyway.
Apparently, we had a 13,000-seater stadium. Look, proper planning. You could have syndicated it in such a way that you would have gotten the numbers to fill.
See.
And you see, the reason why...
what would it have taken to go to UPSA?
That's the point.
Go to Lagos. Go to Wisconsin, go to all those places and say, look, come, give them accreditation and come and just sit down and also cheer. What would they have taken?
And
what would they have taken?
And most of these guys who just want to be part of this conversation, that they will even come. They will come. Look, you see, duty bearers must always know that we do not hate them. We just want the best thing done. We are saying that, listen, people ascribe the things we do in this part of our world to be mediocre. And so when we have, look, can you tell when next we're going to host All African Games? Maybe in the next 10 years or 15 years. Imagine the wrong impression you leave out there. Look, whoever it is that call into the show, it is not a question of hate. We just want the best thing done. We have celebrated mediocrity for far too long. The time had come for us to embrace excellence. It is not difficult. We won't die if we embrace excellence. No. Maybe the person may be looking at the political angle, but no. This is about the image. Look, was it Ghana, Ethiopia at Cape Coast Sports Stadium?
When the lights went off, you
Yes.
mean? I think it was
Cape Coast.
Ghana, Ethiopia game.
Yeah,
I
Ghana,
think it was.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Cape Coast did it twice.
Can you imagine how embarrassing
it went
was?
off twice.
They embarrassed me. Look, finally, I saw our compatriots with their phones. Our compatriots with their phones. A major stadium like Cape Coast does not have a standby generator.
It took, I think, 20 minutes to restore the lighting.
The lights
first
went
time
off.
it went off. This idea that it's Johnny Hughes and Helena Piampo spreading negativity is laughable. The caller doesn't go on social media, I take it.
No,
even before I have seen it, other nationals have amplified it.
You don't have to go onto social media. The state broadcaster, GBC, run with our taxes, is talking about it. BBC is talking about it. VOA is talking about it. So why can't we talk about it? Must we pretend all the way through because there's a certain regime in power? Must we this is supposed to be this is supposed to be a national assignment.
That's right.
And a national agenda.
Johnny, let me tell
The
you.
whole nation is being disgraced and embarrassed.
Johnny, it is this attitude of not listening to advice. That is why almost everything is failing right before us. Look, if it's about education, you talk to people, they will change your words.
Right.
If it's about health, you talk to people, they'll change your words. If it's about the environment, you talk, they'll change your words. And so everybody, look, I know teachers who know what is happening in their school. Look, whilst we're here, somebody sent me a message. And what are his concerns? He said, Eduji, government of Ghana is undertaking a major reform in our education. This is, let me just read. Okay. He said, listen, as we speak now, the SHS curriculum is being changed. And some 33 schools across the country are piloting the new curriculum. There is, however, no textbook or even a syllabus to do the trial with. Both teachers and students are currently confused. Then he continues. Next year, all SHS students are starting a new curriculum. But as we speak now, teachers are not even aware of how the whole project is going to be about. A government that talks about digitalization has made ICC optional in our GHS because they're unable to provide basic ICT tools to the schools.
You know what I said the other time when I read that 68.5 million CDs had been spent for photocopy?
Can you imagine? To photocopy past questions.
I said, we are in a digitalized era.
That's right.
You have a GES website. You have a WAEC website. You couldn't upload the passcode
and tell the kids to go and download
so that
it
you'll be helping them to be tech savvy and all of that.
Because that's what has typically happened in the past.
But we wake up every morning and you tell us that you have digitalized.
No, Johnny, you are wrong. If my lady here goes to the GES website, right, or Ministry of Education,
right,
and downloads and prints, right,
there'll be no procurement.
68 million will not be expended.
Right.
That is somebody's procurement gig. And remember that the $68 million Ghana City contract was sole sourced.
True.
Two companies.
True.
They sole sourced.
True.
What unique
against the PPA's directives.
What unique character do they have when it comes to photocopy, PASCO, and examiners' reports, and the rest scheme, marking scheme, and the rest? I mean, look, that is why some of us say, if $68 million Ghana cedis belongs to Akufo-Addo as his personal fund,
right,
would he spend it in photocopying past questions?
What was the unit cost? What, some 59 cedis per?
Yeah, 59 cedis per copy.
Per copy. Are we saying that's the best bang for our buck? We couldn't have asked anybody else for a much cheaper unit price?
My lady, is it not curious that we are willing to spend 68 million Ghana cedis on past questions?
68.5, let's be specific.
68.5 million Ghana cedis on past questions. But it's almost 4 years now, we can't print textbooks.
I mean, we even had cause to print the Sona.
You know,
I saw communicators with hard copies of the Sona, and I was asking, I mean, come on.
Edgy, you know, this textbook matter you raised, when the curriculum was changed, I followed it up. The teachers, the primary school teachers, they had a training, about 3 days or so. Their breakfast was fed to them in polythene bags. Was served to them in polythene bags. Now, the course manual and the syllabus, right, that teachers usually have, because all of us attended school in this country, so we know what it is. Like, your teacher will come, he has the master book, and then you have the textbook, and then you have also workbook.
That's right.
And then it's connected, right? Now, the teachers were not giving, what do you call it? The curriculum. And they were told to go and download it from a certain website. That was where this whole one teacher, one laptop thing came from.
Johnny,
that's right.
They told them to go and download it. Fast forward to today, they still don't have that.
Johnny.
But we have money to print past questions. Edwiji went to secondary school here. You did, Abian did, I did, yes. Roland, Janet, everybody. We used to buy our own Acula.
Yes.
We used to buy our own... we used to buy them.
See.
When did it become government's job?
No, hold on. Do you know the secondary school I attended?
No.
In Kwanta Secondary School, in OT region. Whilst there, you are responsible for everything. You buy your own Akiola. There was this major one on economics. You have to go and buy it yourself. Almost all the books, in order to sit for
Economics 101.
The economics without TS.
Yes. Economics without TS, yes.
Then there was another one on geography. I did geography, elective maths, and economics. You have to go and get your own books and prepare yourself. What is this business of getting the marking scheme from examiners, among many other things? Johnny, you have to do this. And sometimes our parents felt proud that they were responsible for these things. You understand? Now, government comes to tell us that I've spent 68.5 million Ghana cedis, and you ask them for what? They say we use it in doing photocopying. A government that says that we have championed digitalization, why not allow the students to download, right? Print these things out for their use. In fact, it will stay there forever. So what it means is that this year, government is also going to do another 68.5 million or more.
So this isn't a one-time procurement that government keeps.
No, it's
this
not
is for
one time.
It's for the student.
Just for the student.
They take it away.
They'll take it away. So this year is going to be the procurement gig of another person. Next year it will be. So look at what we are spending taxpayers' money on.
But must we level
on Friday,
ourselves?
We just put $200 or $300 million loan for Parliament to approve. So what is our priority as a people? Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, obviously, if you look at this thing, school sometime in the UK, was that the thing that he was going through in the UK?
When Nanado came back from the UK and taught at Accra Academy,
Yes.
as an economics tutor, he had textbooks, he had the syllabus. Today, teachers are teaching without it. And I've raised another question. I mean, we're digressing a bit from the All Africa game, but I raised another question. So you send a teacher to Keta. The teacher doesn't understand ever. Some of the children, before they come to class 1, they may be 9 years. They have mastered the Ewe language at home. How do you propose for this teacher to instruct the children, to teach them, for them to understand? Because they must be taught in their L1. The teacher is speaking Ga, or is speaking Fanti, or is speaking Twi, and he's supposed to teach them. And vice versa. In Accra, you have a teacher who is teaching the children who doesn't understand Ga. Say media won't think we have turned everything upside down. Everything upside down. And these problems that we're seeing at the All African Games have always persisted. We are now seeing it on the African front. We as Ghanaians, we have always accepted it. We have always said, oh, it's okay, no, don't worry. We have always said, oh, but now we are faced with a continental and global embarrassment.
Yeah.
This embarrassment is not only Ghanaian, it's continental and global.
Are you watching this? I mean,
you have
Cape Coast Sports Stadium, and then so is it the case that we didn't have a generator standby, but we have 68 million Ghana cedis to do photocopy?
Be specific, I beg you.
68.5.
Let's speak to Gary L. Smith. He's a sports journalist, joining us on the phone line now. Gary, Machi.
Ojeko.
Osheye.
My family okay, my family are fine.
Nice one. Gary, so all of what is happening at the All Africa Games, lights going off, athletes not being supported, they've been giving oversized or undersized boots and equipment, people sitting in pickup buckets to go to the event venue, and all the other things that are happening. How does that sound to you as a sports journalist?
First of all, it's very regrettable. As a Ghanaian sports journalist, I want to qualify that because the Ghanaian sports journalists are some of the quickest to complain when we go elsewhere about even more minor issues.
To say it's an embarrassment would be an understatement. And lest anybody says, oh, but these things happen, that is not true. These things don't happen. Ghana was given the right to host this in 2018. I need you to understand that, first of all. We bid for this in 2018, okay? Meaning that the day we said we can put this together, we were getting ready. Now, if even you believe that these things should happen, how do we explain, Johnny, the fact that these games have been postponed for an extra year? Meaning that all of us, you as a broadcaster, you had an extra year to fine-tune your media preparations for the games.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
The bricklayer had an extra year to fine-tune his bricklaying skills for the games. The metal worker, the person giving the accreditation, the person making sure athletes should have cars, the person ensuring that the gen sets should be ready, the person ensuring that things at the airport are ready for all our visitors, the person ensuring that yesterday the doomsday that happened at the Games Village, I bet you didn't know that because we didn't report it. We are tired of reporting the bad news. I bet you didn't know that at the Games Village where the athletes live, there was light off yesterday evening. We just chose not to report it. You understand?
Right.
So it just goes down to, and I would say it's a humbling realization for me that, you see, as Ghanaians, we are not excellence-oriented. I wouldn't even want to mention persons, but Johnny, I think that as a people, we are just not excellence-oriented. And it's just for all of us to admit and for all of us to learn. For me, that's it.
That's a serious thing to say, that we are not excellent-oriented.
Yes. We are not. We were in Cote d'Ivoire for the AFCON.
Right,
okay?
right.
The president said in his speech on last week at
Independence Day in Koforidua.
Yes, you heard what he said.
Right.
He likened the coming of Alassane Ouattara and said it was auspicious. And he enumerated the similarities. He said, just as Cote d'Ivoire had 1 year to postpone their games, we also have had, Cote d'Ivoire had to do this in 2023. They had to do this in 2024. And Cote d'Ivoire reposed the confidence, or they gave the confidence reposed in them a boost by organizing the best AFCON yet. And he was hopeful that in similar vein, even though ours have been postponed also by 1 year, we will have what he considers the best games of all time. What the president didn't say is that Cote d'Ivoire used that 1 year to actually test everything.
Right.
For us as media people, I can give you several examples, but you and I can relate to this more. For the first time in the history of the African Cup, the Confederation of African Football insisted that all broadcasters be on the ground. Not that they started testing, they be actually on the ground 5 months to time. So the TV excellence you saw on your TV was not by coincidence.
It was worked up.
Yes,
there was real work.
Tested. I just got off the phone, me and my brother George, we talk all the time. And we were just saying, as we speak right now, the Paris Olympic Games, the people have been on the ground at least since December. They didn't chop Christmas because they started laying cables, only cables in December. Only cables. So if you see a very fluid games, it is not by accident. A couple of my colleagues went to the last Africa Games in Rabat in Morocco. And a similar story was told that, and this is my colleague Akosi Amo, who works for AIPS now. She was telling me this yesterday, and she even tweeted it, that Africa Games 2019, because she works for AIPS, they went there at least 6 months to time. The people were already on the ground testing things. So you see, you cannot say that you are just going to the Ablekuma Highway to do cycling, right? But as we speak right now, the Ablekuma Highway where the cycling is taking place is overgrown with weeds.
I agree.
Right now.
I agree.
Right now. And on the day that the cycling was happening, you forget that the ambulance didn't turn up. But the day that all of Africa were there and were cycling, we had people using cutlasses to weed.
Jesus Christ.
This is this weekend. Today, that's the games. There is no cycling today. They are weeding. What are they weeding? What are they weeding?
Gary, you have covered tournaments and other games across the continent and the world over. How does what we're doing here this year measure up to anything that is supposed to be of global standard or continental standard?
I think it's been said ad nauseum, so I wouldn't want to belabor the point. But I've given you a few examples of games that have been hosted here in Africa, not anywhere. Okay, and it's even more depressing that some of these games that were hosted with minimum hitches. I mean, we like to say TIA, so there'll be hitches here and there, okay? But when my Nigerian colleagues, and I say this with all the humility and embarrassment I can master, when our Nigerian colleagues are laughing at us, then you know you are in trouble. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
I get you.
If Nigerian colleagues are calling you to say, "Oh, guy, you people are doing well. You want to be like us so bad," then you know you are in trouble. So that's my answer for you.
Gary,
yeah.
I want to thank you this morning for your time. Washing a beer, Yasechi is the head of marketing and sponsorship. My former boss at Right Multimedia is on the phone line. Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much, Honorable. How are you, sir?
Oh, I haven't earned that title yet. Good morning, Johnny.
Oh, every big man is honorable in this country. Beg you, please take it, accept it.
Let me even start by saying good morning to your listeners.
Right.
And to say that I completely understand the frustration expressed by Gary. We are all on the same page. So I'm not, even before you start your questions, I'm not in any way going to justify where we find ourselves. And so there's a crisis meeting today. We need to, like in football now, we're taking a cooling break to re-strategize to see what can we do better with 2 weeks to go to salvage, as much as we can. Because I'm sure we're going to talk about publicity. I'm sure we're going to, talk about, okay, why are the things not working? It looks like there are some gaps that need to be filled. And that is what the crisis meeting today is seeking to address. So even before you start our conversation, I just want to put that on the record that Gary, completely, I understand your frustration. Gary and I have spoken about it. It's not just Gary. A lot of the media people are calling to say, yeah, what is going on? Okay, but I'm just one person. And there are other components that all need to come together beautifully to make, such a successful tournament. We've identified the problems. The question is, what's the solution going forward? And that's what we're going to address today.
The scenes that have characterized the All-Africa Games as we see it, lights going off, players in pickup buckets or athletes in pickup buckets, they're not getting the equipment, they're not training, and all those issues put together. I can imagine how difficult it makes your work as a marketing and sponsorship boss very difficult. Looks like you are trying to sell a bad product. Is that the case?
Johnny, you captured it well. I mean, if you don't, if an event is characterized by such negativity, which one wants to associate with it? So this is obviously what I am going through. However, I said earlier in the show that we are not going to engage in lamentations. We still have 2 weeks to go. We will definitely do a postmortem of this event, and so. For me, how going forward we should be able to get, Ghanaians involved, how people can participate in the games, which direction to point. Because, for instance, yesterday I was at the University of Ghana and the parents and the son approached me. They want to go and watch some of the games, but they don't know where to go. And so those are the things that we need to address. And that's what the crisis meeting today is seeking to fix. So that from today, because we have football ongoing, we have athletics coming up. We've got basketball coming up. Weightlifting started yesterday. Beautiful. First time I'm watching weightlifting. Amazing. But people would want to go see it. Where do they go? Those are the things that we want to address. And yes, to answer your question directly, the low awareness in publicity obviously has affected, sponsorship. For instance, if Johnny, if I had approached you 2 years ago or last year,
right,
for the African Games, and you are the CEO of your company, you would have budgeted for it, right?
Right.
I've gotten, let's say, $1 million out of it, $500,000 out of it. But if I should come to you to this year, when you've already allocated your budget, and as much as you want to be a part of it, you will not be able to give me that value because you did not budget for it. So what it means is that even though you're on board, I'm not getting the best value out of this. So for me, it is what the potential is versus what you are realizing. Okay, and so if the potential is not matching what you are realizing, then you are underselling yourself. And unfortunately, that's the space we find ourselves. But for me, the postmortem will be able to unravel all these things. But what Ghanaians are asking, if I'm listening carefully, is that we don't know where the things are. The awareness in terms of how we can participate is not there. How do we fix those things and begin to create more awareness so that Johnny Hughes over the weekend wants to go and watch athletics with his son or daughter and wife and family. They'll be able to go because they know that swimming is happening this day at this time, so they can plan. So for me, most critically, that is what we address. That is what we need to fix, and everything else. Once the event is done, we can sit and do a comprehensive postmortem.
Yeah. So we had a full year postponement to prepare. Did we get the preparation wrong?
Well, so first of all, it wasn't a full year. We were supposed to do this thing August last year, and now we're doing it in March. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That's about 7 months.
7 months,
regardless,
right.
Regardless of the time, if you have 7 months to prepare, obviously something better should come out of it. What it means is that, and I'm the first to admit that we could have done better. Nobody from the LOC, nobody associated with the organization office can say we're doing our best out of this. No. It's a no. It's a no starter. So once we admit that we could have done better, it's like you're getting 6 out of 10. Yes, it's great. It's a pass mark. But if you have the capacity and you have the potential to do 9, why are you doing 6? Considering all the great people you have on your committee. So we could have done better with a lot of the pieces. So I'm hearing people say, even Gary was saying the place has not been weeded. They say this, they say that. All the reports coming out. They are great stories, being like their great achievements. For in weightlifting, I'm told, the girl, a young lady won gold.
Winifred into me, gold and 2 silver.
For the very first time in swimming, some achievements, some records are being broken. You know why people are not highlighting that? Because people still don't have details. They don't have details. It would have been great to go and see this girl weightlifting, break the record. But if you didn't know, and you are hearing it after the event has taken place, now you are upset. So, for instance, there's football. Ghana lost football. It's a football nation. Do you have the schedule? When is Ghana playing? Where are the games being held? At what time? Those are the focus points now. You understand? So we can talk about bad planning. We can talk about all the things that could have been done, Johnny, which is great conversation to have. But for me, the focus should be how do we fix it going forward? Because the games are still happening. We are not done. The games are still happening. So we need to intensify publicity. We need to engage the media some more. This conversation we're having, which we are able to have that every morning to say, okay, so what is happening? What did we achieve yesterday? What are some of the records we are hoping to break? Which are the areas that we think Ghana can win gold and stuff like that? See, that should be the direction of the conversation. But Johnny, you know why we are having this conversation now? Because you yourself, you are frustrated. You wish you had gone to see some of these games, but you don't have information. So I understand the direction of the media.
But that comes to how much we have marketed this. Look, the president, for example, said in his Independence Day speech that he's expecting 2 billion people to watch. Have we really sold this out well so that we expect 2 billion people? That's the first leg of the question. And secondly, if we have 2 billion people watching indeed, as the president made us to believe, we really should be apologizing to the people for all these mishaps. It looks like the LOC is quiet. We are okay because it's Ghana. People will go. But we forget that there are South Africans here. There are, Egyptians here, Moroccans. Everybody is here.
You're right. to answer the first question, the president said 2 billion people will be watching. Are we achieving that? I don't have the data to say yes or no to that. But I don't need to be a prophet. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that if you did not do all the things in terms of marketing strategy, the PR, to be able to achieve that, but I would not be surprised if the data comes out to say you didn't get 2 billion. Johnny, you understand the point I'm making?
I'm listening to you.
Even though I don't have the data now, I will not be surprised if the 2 billion mark or the target was not achieved. Why? Because all the elements that should come together to help you realize that to some degree, which I've already admitted, has not been done. First of all, so the point is, I will not be surprised, as much as I don't have data talking to you now, I will not be surprised if it comes out that 2 billion mark or target was not achieved. Your second leg of the question, if that is if that is not as a result of poor planning, I've already admitted that to you, that Johnny, so much could have been done. Considering all the experts, you have a Malcolm Afajan, who is president of Table Tennis,
right,
and marketing director of Stambek. You have the senior Hosi, you have the Kwame Paniako, you have Gizu, you have great people.
So if you had all these great people, what's happening then? Because in their individual capacity, I know what you have done with basketball in Ghana and Africa. I know what Mauku Afajino has done because I'm in IPR with him. I know what Banyako has done. You can name the individuals in your individual capacities and where you are and people you have built and helped. You are fantastic. How is it that we bring you together? And it's looking like the Abedipele Tony Eboa team that we had Black Stars that never went to the World Cup. What's going on?
I don't want to engage in lamentation this morning. And as I told you, that there's so much we could have done, considering all these personalities. The focus really is that how do we fix it with 2 weeks to go? Because, see, Johnny, the games are not over. We still have 2 weeks to go.
Right.
And that is why maybe after 2 weeks, if we are having this conversation, I'll be able to break it down to you why we couldn't do the things we did. Okay? But for now, if I go on that tangent, I'm not helping the situation.
When will the LOC apologize to Ghanaians and to Africa? Our lights went off. People sat in buckets. They didn't get the equipment. Some got undersized and oversized shoes. There certainly has to be an apology. That's what the people are calling for. Would the LOC budge and give the people an apology?
This rests in the bosom of the executive chairman of the LOC, Dr. Kweku Fosasa. I'm sure once you raise him on the phone, he'll be able to tell you. But listen, trust me, nobody, with all the reports that we're getting, nobody will be able to say we are doing our best in this. Trust me, nobody. So without you even speaking with me, I can tell you that this conversation is an admission of our inability to deliver at the level that we had, and so, Johnny, I can only, in my personal capacity, apologize for the lack of communication, the lack of the intensity of the awareness that we need to create so Ghanaians to participate. However, Johnny, help us, all the media people, and you can only help us when we give you information, right? You can only help us because if we don't fill the gap with positive information, and you will fill the gap with the kind of information you have. So I can only appeal to the media, to say, yes, we would have the postmortem of it. But in the interim, let's see how we advise people to visit the website, Accra2023ag.com. You might get some information there. We have a crisis meeting today, which will seek to address the problems. How can we change? We are pulling break. The coach has called for a strategy. From today, you have football happening. Athletics is coming up. Basketball is coming up. Weightlifting is happening. Swimming is happening. What is the strategy going forward from today, Monday, to be able to turn the situation around and get Ghanaians more involved? And that is what the focus will be from today.
And the website is what? Accra AG?
www.accra2023 AG for African Games.
Right.
.com.
2023.
Yes. Because remember, this should have happened last year.
Right. I'm trying to assess it. But yeah, you know, the going concern on social media now, and a caller just, left us a while ago, suggesting that we are preaching negativity when we report on the issues that are happening there instead of positivity. Finally, how do you respond to that? It looks like, okay, the things are happening, but we should shush.
No, it will not be fair on the media for anybody to say you are preaching negativity, because that is what you are being fed with. That's what you see on social media. When this girl broke the record at the weightlifting, and I think at swimming, people talked about it. I saw Gary tweet about it. So it means that if you feed them with the right information, they will amplify it. So I would not attack any media person for saying, oh, there was doom so at Cape Coast Stadium. And if the person is talking about it, the question is, did it happen? Yes, it happened. So why are you surprised the person is talking about it? But if Ghana won gold and you told him, he will also talk about it. So let's fill the gap with the positive stories coming out of the African Games. Okay? And if you feed that with the media, we should be okay. So
give us more positive stories. This morning I spoke about the gold and 2 silver by Ntumi, and then also the silver by Abeku Jackson. But that's all we have. But if we don't have any more, we will talk about what's there. And these negative stories, so-called, are coming up because the athletes are themselves not happy. They are the ones talking to the media that I am in the game. I went to lift metal and I don't have the right equipment. I went to ride a bicycle. Yesterday, for example, one of the cyclists, as soon as they started, his tire goes best. So he's willing to compete, but he doesn't have the equipment. How is the media blamable for it?
Nobody should blame the media. That's the point that makes that I will not go on that tangent. And I haven't heard any of the LOC members say the media is responsible for this. Look, I've sat in the seat that you're sitting. So I understand. If I don't give you information, you need to fill your airtime with information. And when you go on social media and you're talking about doing so, that is what you talk about. However,
please, it's doomshare, it's not doomso. We beg you.
Say again?
Doomshare, it's not doomso. Yeah.
So if I am coming to you, there's a clear strategy that every morning we are sharing, a recap of yesterday, sharing, where you can get information. I'm sure, Johnny, you will go there and want to highlight what the great stories are. But if I don't give you that information and you go online and you see doomshare at Cape Coast Stadium, that's what you're going to talk about. So I am not going to blame Johnny for not reporting what the great stories are, because he doesn't know in the first place. I need to feed him that so he can do a balanced reporting. When you highlight problems, it's because you want us to know and fix it. I don't see it as you just overly criticizing because you just want to be negative. I don't see it from that angle.
Okay.
You are giving me feedback so I can feed it. So
right.
I'm not going to be one of the people who will say, hey, let's attack the media for reporting negativity. I don't think so.
Yeah.
The media should be engaged. You are partners in development, and that is what we should do going forward. So enough of the lamentation. Let's fix it going forward. We're on a cooling break. We have a strategic meeting, a strategic session this morning to see how do we, correct the trend. And then at the end of the day, Ghana should be celebrated for hosting some great games.
Thank you very much, Yasechin. I wish that we would also climb up like Egypt on the medal league table. Yeah. Egypt now has 66. Algeria has 39. South Africa has 28. Nigeria has 26. Mauritius has 6. Madagascar 10. Tunisia 17. Morocco 13. Uganda 4. Uganda 7. Ghana has 4. And the rest after Ghana is just 4-2-1, 4-2, like in Queen 4-4-2, 4-4-1. But don't worry. Yeah, we thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Great. Yalsechi Aferi is the chairman of the sponsorship and marketing committee, the local organization committee. Or did you have the closing thought on this one? You heard Yao. He says he's not here to fight anybody.
I think
he's not here to blame.
Okay, so this level of humility is not something you hardly see within officialdom. And so I want to personally commend him for appreciating the depth of the problem. Incidentally, he's in charge of marketing.
That's right.
And sponsorship. I don't think there's a better way of marketing Ghana. And so whatever it is that is within his power, he must deploy by way of skill sets to correct this negative impression that Ghana represents something better than what we have seen, and possibly project a better sense of how prepared we are. I listened to Gary much earlier, and he made the point that when Morocco did 2019, in 6 months' time, everything was, good. Remember that we had already rescheduled this earlier. And I was thinking that the rescheduling gave us the opportunity to better prepare.
Right, about 7 months, he says.
So you can imagine what would have happened if we had hosted it the first time. It would have been disaster.
Booga.
And so we should appreciate that when these things happen, it is the image of Ghana that is always on the ticket, and no other person.
Great. Counsel, I thank you very much. Lawyer Godwin Ejun Chakamoklo is the NDC's Director of Legal Affairs, and he's been here. Helen.
What a morning.
Thank you very much.
What a morning. Of course, the 13th African Games was front and center as far as our lineup was concerned. We wanted to really get into what it is that's even going on.
And we've spoken to everybody who matters.
Absolutely.
We've spoken to politicians.
That's
we've spoken to the athletes who won our first gold and silver medals. We've spoken to a member of the local organizing committee. We've spoken to fellow journalists. We've spoken to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. And now everybody, the running theme is that we have not done well, but we can do better.
Absolutely.
So it's not about singing praise and worship.
That gets us nowhere.
And no, I no go grieve for you.
It does us no good to come and sit here
no go grieve for you.
And sing praises when there are real issues that, if you listen, the caller who called seeking to paint us as some type of Sambala, Tobias, naysayers, unpatriotic, like we're just here to make noise about the negativity. You heard from Yao Sechi, who just got off the line, chairman of the marketing and organizing committee.
I appreciate Yao Sechi's honesty and
I want to echo that as well, same as what lawyer said.
That's my former boss, actually.
There you go. No excuses made. Thinking about the future. He says there's going to be a crisis meeting today. So whoever is calling and saying that we're here to preach negativity, if all was well, would Mr. Sechi be here this morning telling us about a crisis meeting that is to be held, and in fact even projecting into the future for a post-mortem, so that we make sure we don't repeat these mistakes? This is nothing to be excited about. Some of these mistakes, these blunders, are just simple blunders. It means we have to organize ourselves better. We have another 2 weeks to go. And in those 2 weeks, we want to see a better projection of our motherland, Ghana. You think it's Johnny Hughes and Helena Piampo who are painting Ghana black? Go on social media. You have Africans from all over the continent who are here. They are watching it for themselves. They are here. They are seeing it for themselves. Is it I?
You don't know why it's going on?
You don't know why it's going on, sir? Go and ask why it's going on.
Anyway.
Let me cool down again.
Cool down. Well, we'll activate the phone lines after this, yeah?
Onyame kokroko. Onyame awa ne yeda no.